Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Unpacking. I'm eager to get started and find out where it is that we're going to go from here. Last time we were unpacking back into our old childhood room after the breakup with our boyfriend, which is such a shame because I spent oh so long getting this area to be perfect. But I'm hopeful that things can only go up from here. And we're gonna fast forward to the year 2013. We only had to stay at home for about a year, and we are now in a beautiful place. We have a bedroom, an office, the kitchen, bathroom, and living room. So I'm not sure if she's renting or if she's purchased this place, but it's all her own. All of everything that we're unpacking is just our own stuff, so we don't have to work around anybody else. And unlike our dorm, where we lived alone as well, at least this is more a space that we can call our own. So as you can see, lots and lots of space. We've got lots of stuff to unpack, so I'm just going to go ahead and get started. This is another level that can be quite long and can take me quite a while to do, so I'm going to try and be mindful of that and not take a super long time. And what you'll find with this level is it seems like there's a lot of stuff when you go through each room and you think, oh wow, I have 5 whole rooms of the house to unpack. But once you start fitting things in, you'll actually find that you're left with a lot of space. So this is a really nice level, and I think it's one of the reasons that it always kind of takes me so long to go through is because this is another level where you have just a lot of freedom. There is going to be a lot of extra space for you to play around with. And it will seem, I guess, a little bit empty in comparison to some of the other places we've been in. Like our boyfriend's apartment was pretty crowded with the two of us living there. The dorm was a little bit crowded because it was so small. And then when we lived with our roommates, of course, that was having to move around their stuff. So this will seem a little bit empty once we're finished. But for those of you who like a nice, clean, sort of neat, tidy environment, this will be a great level to play around with. And you have so many ledges and windowsills and such to work with, as you can see. We are back to having to unpack a lot of books, but we have this huge bookshelf in the living room, and we also have a shelf in our office. And when I was unpacking this living room for the first time, I was kind of getting vibes like it's really, really similar to our roommate's apartment, because I'm pretty sure that this TV stand and this bookshelf were almost in an identical place. I might have to actually look and go through that level again and see how many other similarities there are, but I know it's not the same place because this has a tub in it. I think this is the first place we're living in that we actually have a tub, which is quite an upgrade as well. It could just be my imagination, but I guess maybe some of the levels are starting to like blend together a little bit, possibly, for me. And I'm trying not to take too much time because I can easily probably spend 45 minutes in this level. And although it's very fun for me to play, I'm not so sure how fun that is for you guys to watch, so I am trying to be mindful of time. But the bathroom is pretty straightforward. You have a lot of space to work with. I'm gonna pile all of my boxes in the back. I'll put my scale under my towel hook and my trash can. And you also have the medicine cabinet to work with. I mean, this bathroom is a dream in terms of space because it has more space than I think any other bathroom we've been in so far, and it has all the storage things that some of the other places have been lacking. It's kind of got a little bit of everything. So you should have no problems getting everything packed into this bathroom. You could easily stack these 3 boxes on top of each other. I don't know why this little tiny box doesn't stack on top of the one beside it. It kind of drives me a little bit bonkers, but that's just the game's logic, I suppose. And it's so nice that I don't have to fight with anybody for stuff. I don't have to work around other people. I could just take the time and figure out exactly where I want to put all my stuff. Unfortunately, my hair straightener will only fit in the drawer on its own, but we have 4 drawers to work with. And even though that's the case, I think I'm only actually going to be taking up half of the drawers in this bathroom. I still have 2 free drawers that I didn't do anything with. I could condense the shelf that's in my shower, and I still have spaced everything out in the medicine cabinet. So yeah, like I mentioned, it starts to feel almost a little bit empty in comparison to some of our other places that we've lived, but you know, I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing. I think it's really, really nice in these levels to have options. And that's part of the joy, is playing around with everything, you know? Alright, so I'm going to open up the closet, completely empty, lots of space on the floor. We have these pull-out plastic drawers to fold stuff, and then we have a lot of room in the closet itself to hang stuff as well. So for now, my strategy is just to keep all my clothes together, kind of group them together, and then I will hang them up. Most clothes you can actually hang, which is nice. And I also find with this level, more than some of the other levels, that you don't have to do a lot of shuffling of your items. It seems to me that most of the stuff you pull out of the boxes are gonna go in the room that you're in. There's my stupid yoga mat, which has never seen the light of day. I just keep sticking it under the bed. So, running out of room on the bed here, but I am keeping things kind of in groups so that I know what to do with them. As you can see, got lots of hangers. She still doesn't quite have the hang of getting matching hangers, but she's getting better. Also love the music in this level. I love that it's just bright and cheery, and to me it just kind of gives off this feeling of optimism and excitement, you know, like moving into like a new place. it's a definite shift in tone from the last level. Almost done in the bedroom. The bedroom is another area where I could probably just get it together right away instead of moving on and unpacking the next room. So I might do that real quick. It will end up feeling very, very empty once we're finished. You'll be surprised. In most levels, clothing is a struggle. It's a struggle to figure out where I want to put stuff, but we have so many hangers that I'm going to end up hanging up most of my tops. I'm going to be able to hang up all of my sweaters. And there's just going to be a few odd things that get kind of left out, but that's okay because the things that I end up not hanging up are things that I just wouldn't hang up anyways. They're more things that I would keep in a drawer. So I've got all my sweaters, I've got my nice kind of short summery t-shirts or shirts. And then I'm gonna open the other side and I'm gonna put my skirts on these hangers because I have the exact perfect amount of skirts for these hangers. I have exactly 4. And that means that I can hang all of those up, and the only thing I'm left with is my pants. My pants are the alternative thing that you can put on these hangers as well instead if you didn't want to hang your skirts, but to me it just kind of makes more sense because she's got more skirts than she does pants. And then finally I'm going to hang my dress up. I'll put my dress over here with my skirts. You can also condense this a little bit. And it's nice that you have so much room because you can do it either way. You can space everything out really, really nicely. You can group things together. So right now, all I'm left with is a few t-shirts, my pajamas, my jeans, and my bras and my underwear, which is perfect. We've got 4 drawers, 2 shallow and 2 deep. Now, I also just want to talk about this for a minute because somebody left a comment in another video and I think it's worth talking about because I've mentioned multiple times that the people in this game just seem to hate socks. They won't wear them, they don't own them, they have something against socks. But as somebody pointed out, if I can group all these things together, you will notice that the supposed underwear is folded in 2 different ways. These ones are kind of rolled up, and then these look like they're kind of folded in half. And because they're folded 2 different ways, somebody informed me that half of these are socks and half of these are underwear. Now, my question is, if that's true, which are which? Because to me, the designs of all of these things look like underwear because they all look like they have waistbands. And just the way that they're designed, I don't know that people would wear like these as socks. But I also would think that your underwear would be folded more like this. So that's a hot topic up for debate, and I would love to know what you guys think, because when somebody told me that, I said, you know what, that actually would make perfect sense. She's got 6 pairs of underwear and 6 pairs of socks. But I have a hard time believing that these were designed to look like socks, regardless of how she folds them. But thank you to the person who left that comment, because it made me have a second look at how things were folded. I knew that they were folded differently, but I just never really paid much attention until somebody pointed that out. You have also the perfect amount of bras for one drawer. So she plans beautifully. She doesn't have any stray bras lying around that you're not going to be able to find a home for. Your underwear slash socks slash bra should be able to go in these shallow drawers perfectly. And then I like to always keep my pajamas together, and I like to fold them. So I'm going to keep those in the first big drawer, and then I'm going to put my t-shirts with my jeans. Now that's not perfect. You know, they're not really items that go together, but they're just the last stray pieces of clothing that I have, and it just makes sense for them to just be put away. So then that way I still have lots of room in my dresser. I have room on top of this storage container, and I could put stuff on top if I were to move all of my hangers over more towards the middle. It's also funny that she has one of these plastic storage towers, because that is how I organize all of my socks and underwear in real life. Because I have many, 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 many pairs of socks. I've got all different kinds, and I organize them depending on type. So moving into the office now, I, first of all, absolutely love that she has an office. This is the first level where she actually has her own office. Now, I don't know if she works from home. Maybe she is like a freelance artist or something. It's very clear by looking at her possessions that she is an artist. And also by some of the comments she makes if you look in your photo album, depending on what room you're frozen on in the album. So I don't know if she works from home or she does design or something like that. And she's kind of gotten by working in the living room or on the kitchen table or whatever. So it is very, very nice to see that she finally, after all this time, has her own private space for her art. I think she deserves that. It looks like she's worked really, really hard for all that she has, you know? There's the first item I've come across, besides the bug spray that hasn't been relevant, is my random towel. And we're back again to organizing multiple books, but we have lots of space, so it's not as big a pain in the butt this time around. Don't mind it as much because we have lots of options. We have this whole bookshelf here, and then of course we have our bookshelf in the living room as well. While I'm here, I'm going to grab these notebooks and bring them over to where I'm stacking them just to save a bit of time. I've also been calling them notebooks, but I've gone online just to see how other people are organizing their rooms just out of curiosity. And because she's an artist, some people have called those notebooks her sketchbooks. So it is entirely possible that she's actually sketching things in these. I thought maybe she was journaling or something, but I think that's all up to interpretation, of course. I just thought it was an interesting thought. That last box just had a whole ton of decorations in it, a bunch of paintings for the wall. It's nice. We're getting a lot of individuality because we're out on our own and we're a bit more established, which I love. I'm gonna put my printer in here, and whatever this is, if somebody knows what this is, please tell me. It looks like a scanner maybe, or some sort of tablet for drawing. I couldn't tell you. I mean, this is a tablet for drawing, I'm assuming, because it's got the stylus. So I don't really know what this is, but I'm assuming it goes together with this, you know? And then this is printer paper, I'm assuming. And we're also going to put that away. If you want to, you can put it on your desk and the game will pass you on it. I just don't have a lot of space on my desk. My desk is pretty crowded, so I am just going to leave it in here. I also don't know what these are. I'm assuming they're just like little drawers with office supplies in them, like thumbtacks and whatnot. You can stack them on the desk if you'd like, or you can put them on the windowsill like I had them. When I played this game for the first time, I accidentally put them on the windowsill, and I was really surprised that the game actually let me leave it there. So I don't know what I want to do for my decorations. I have a feeling I'm having some like deja vu where I think this painting came from when we lived with roommates, and I feel like it was also above the TV. I really want to go back and check that level with our roommates because I'm getting just such a weird itch that the layouts are really, really similar, at least for the living room area. I've got one more room to unpack. I've got the kitchen to unpack. But as you can see, I've made the entertainment stand and TV area also with all of my consoles. I've got my GameCube game. She has GameCube controllers, but she no longer has a GameCube. She's upgraded to the Wii. And then I've got my DS and my games to go along with it. Still have to figure out something with all of my books, but I'll go back to that later. I'm going to unpack the kitchen, which is of course still my least favorite place to unpack. But this is not as painful because, again, a lot of space. And the kitchen, I think, is the only area in the game that looks really grungy. You can see there's like stains from old tenants. This looks maybe like grease or something. There's like scuffs and dents on the fridge. Obviously, this place has been, you know, lived in. But the rest of the apartment looks really, really nice. It's just the kitchen that just looks really rough for some reason. While we are here in the kitchen, we are also going to be getting the 2 optional achievements for this level. The first thing we're going to do is make the equation 1 + 2 = 3 on the fridge with magnets. I would recommend doing it on the side just so that you can see it. I don't know that the front is long enough for the equation. I usually just always do it on the side and kind of keep it separate. So much to unpack. I also noticed that she, like a lot of stuff that she has over the years, is always the same in the kitchen area. So she always buys the same like brand of like sugar and salt, say, and she's carrying around her spatula that she's had for years and whatnot. But the one thing that she changes quite often is her dishes. Her dishes always seem to vary quite a bit. Just in comparison with the rest of the stuff in the kitchen, that's definitely something I've noticed. So once you pull out your fridge magnets and you do 1 + 2 = 3 on the side of the fridge there, you will get one of the optional achievements. And then we're gonna play with the microwave a little bit for our second one. But first, I gotta get everything unpacked here, just so I can think a little bit better about where I want things to go. put all of our cutlery away. I've also noticed now that she seems to be picking up baking as a hobby. She's got lots of baking related stuff like cookie cutters and stuff like that. Alright, that's it then. Good stuff. We have it all unpacked, and actually, look at that. We did the bedroom and the bathroom perfectly. 2 rooms that we don't have to play around with at all. I think this is a pretty easy room to fix. We just have to move some stuff around, which shouldn't be too difficult. But I should get the kitchen sorted before I go and nitpick around with any of the other stuff that I missed. I am going to try in this top drawer to put all of my baking stuff. So all of my measuring spoons and all of my cookie cutters should be able to fit in this drawer with 1 slot to spare. These are huge drawers, very wide, very, very nice. And then I'm going to put the rest of my stuff, my spatula, my spoon, my saran wrap, and my Ziploc bags and whatnot in this second drawer. Again, still an absolute buttload of space to put stuff. If you want to, you can put your spices in this drawer and it will close. I would just play around with it and see what you can put away that the game will let you get away with. This is a good spot for our baking sheets, and I think that's actually where I'm going to leave mine. I think that's a perfect place for it. I'm gonna go ahead and put out my stuff around the sink. Again, the sponge, if you want, you can put it on top or you can put it in the sink. I like putting it in the sink because I think it just gets it out of the way and it's logical. Probably not the cleanest to leave it in the sink, but again, logical, makes sense. Let's set up our microwave up on the top shelf, and in order to get the other optional achievement I talked about, all you have to do is just play around with the microwave until the time is set, and you would get an achievement for that as well. Put away all my cleaning supplies. Now I'm going to put away my big pot. This would also be a good opportunity to put either your frying pan and your pot down there if you're able to. I think you can only fit one or the other in here. So it's totally up to you what you want to put down here. And again, perfectly okay to leave your pot or your pan on the stove as well. I'm gonna put all of my cups up here with the rest of my dishes. She's got nice colorful cups, kind of boring, you know, bowls and plates and stuff, but nice colorful mugs, which is nice. There we go, got them all together in a nice grouping. And then I've got my mixing bowl and my measuring cup up there as well. I'm going to leave my coffee related stuff on the top shelf. You can see it's interesting, that's something that she picked up from her ex because she used to just drink instant coffee, and then when she met him, she learned all about, you know, fancier coffees. I also think this gray towel that she has was his. I remember there being a gray towel in his kitchen. So the kitchen, again, lots and lots and lots of freedom for what you want to do with it. There are so many different configurations for how to do things that it's just kind of refreshing that you have a lot of options. I'm gonna just whack all of my paintings and whatnot up on the walls real quick. I think I'm actually gonna line up these little tiny paintings behind the kitchen wall just to kind of brighten it up, because that room is quite dark and drab and just kind of boring. So maybe we'll put some paintings up and it will just brighten the place up a little bit. I think that looks very nice. And then maybe I'll just put these remaining two up here on the wall in my office. And for some reason, this accordion folder, I don't know why it won't let me keep it there. Because if I wanted to, I could move it under my desk and it would be fine. You would think it would be more out of the way here. But apparently not. So I'm just going to throw that in the closet, cupboard for now. Not a closet, it's a cupboard. A drawer, whatever you want to call it. And then, because I realize we're getting up in time a little bit here, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put things on the shelf just to get them put away, finish up the level, and off screen I will probably just do a little bit of organizing on my own time. And the organizing I'll do, I don't think is going to make all that much of a difference. If I showed you the level, the before and after, I don't think there would be just a huge noticeable difference. If anything, I'm just going to move a couple of things around. You know, maybe some decorations will go in different areas or something like that. But I don't think I'm going to spend a lot of time doing anything really groundbreaking or life-changing. I'm pretty happy with this. Despite the fact that I told myself I'm a little crunched for time and I can't afford to be incredibly picky about all of these levels, I think everything looks nice. And again, I love how much space she has. Love that she's in her own place for the first time that she has freedom with. And it just looks like a very nice, warm, cozy space, and it has the right amount of like a sophisticated, more like adult I'm on my own feeling, along with some individuality and, you know, some personality. So I really love that. This is a very fun level to organize. And the only other thing that I forgot to do that we cannot forget to do before we finish is to flush the toilet. We gotta keep flushing those toilets. Alright, so I'm gonna take my album photo on my office because I'm loving the way that room looks. It's bright and cheery. And that will be it for this video. I think we did awesome. And I'm very much looking forward to where things are gonna go next time, because things seem to be going fairly well for our girl again. She's back up on her feet and thriving, so I am thrilled. Can't wait to see where we go next. I want to thank you all so very much for watching, and I hope that I will see you next time.